Storks is the latest from Warner Animation Group, who also made the Lego Movie. And it's set in a world where storks no longer deliver babies, but instead deliver packages. Also, a young boy who's somewhat neglected by his parents sort of take their job over paying attention to their kid, sends off a letter to this group of storks in hopes to get a new baby brother. Now, this letter is received by a girl who was left in the storks facility as a baby who didn't get delivered, who's grown up now. The baby gets created. Now a stork who's an up-and-comer, named Junior, who's voiced by Andy Samberg, along with Tulip, the girl who didn't get delivered when she was younger, must go deliver this baby to the new family. This was a film that I really wasn't sure if I wanted to see. It looked like your pretty basic generic kids movie, so I didn't really expect much from it, and I kind of wrote it off. But I have to say that when I saw this film, I found myself enjoying the parts that weren't necessarily in the trailers, which I kind of thought was a good thing because normally they give you the best parts in the trailers. First off, let's talk about the animation. It's absolutely beautiful. Animation keeps going leaps and bounds ahead. Everyone is starting to catch up. They're doing a brilliant, beautiful work on screen with computers. It's absolutely amazing. But I still love seeing those cartoony characters in this real environment. I mean, they show water a couple times, snow, a couple different environments that look pretty realistic, and then there's these cartoony characters in it. I always think that's funny, but it also makes it much more of a kids movie. This film also had a lot of humor to it. It had a lot of jokes that I really kind of didn't expect, kind of those inside jokes a lot of times. But I also found myself being more drawn to and thinking secondary characters were a lot better than the primary characters of Junior and Tulip, which is kind of what you don't expect when you see, especially for animated movies. A lot of times the secondary characters are pretty much background, just there to help set up the scenario, stuff like that. But this time it felt like they were a lot more interesting than the main characters that were marketed and are in the film. So I found myself sort of not enjoying the film while also enjoying the film. I found characters like this weird little pigeon named Pigeon Toady to be a lot funnier and have a lot better jokes than even Andy Samberg's Junior character.
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
Which was not what you expect when you see these films. I mean, Toady was like this weird little pigeon with Donald Trump hair, and it was kind of funny, and he had this weird sort of accent, like a bro-ish, sort of Bostonish. I'm not sure what accent he had, but whatever it was just weird, and I think that's why I liked him a lot more. But also at the same time, I feel like if I watched an entire movie of Pigeon Toady being the main character, after a while it would get pretty old, which even in the film, the limited screen time that he did have, kind of got old after a while. However, the character I found myself most drawn to was the little boy Nate who had sent off the letter to the Storks. Something about him is just super funny. He had this adorable determination that just was unmatched by any other character in the rest of the movie.
Mom, Dad, I've decided I want a baby brother.
Also, his relationship with his parents was a lot more interesting than what was happening with the Storks delivering the baby and what was happening in the Storks world. I felt like Nate had a lot richer background and story with his parents. His parents were very much more into their jobs. Once they see Nate trying building this, like, I don't really know, target on top of the house for the Storks to deliver his new baby brother.
We're gonna destroy the whole roof? We have to replace the chimney with a slide for when the Storks deliver my baby brother.
What he said.
Dads are fun, moms are mean.
I heard that.
Moms are fun too!
They sort of get involved and they feel like, and they start to learn that spending time with Nate is a lot more important than being on their job. Obviously, their job provides the means in which they have a house, put food on the table, what have you. But spending time with Nate is a lot more important, and he has these little jokes when he's trying to get them to help him that I think kind of draw them in, sort of as like trying to make them feel bad that they're not helping him and spending so much time with him. But also what he says is also true, that he says like this, it says super fast, but he says like, you know, I'm going to be growing, when you're going to blink, and pretty soon I'll be off to college, and then I'll be turning 18, and then he says all these quick little things that are true, but they're also hilarious, especially coming out of such a little kid. I have to say this film had pretty good jokes, great animation, but it just felt a little bit too long, in which unfortunately this film is just under an hour and a half, and the fact that it felt long, after a while I'm like, okay, let's kind of get this baby to this destination and the family can have the baby and Nate can be happy. I wasn't so much worried about the stork, Tulip, and the baby. I was worried about Nate getting his brother, which actually is his sister. I was worried about that. I didn't really care so much about the stork's adventure. I just wanted to worry about Nate, and that kind of detracted from the film for me. The grade I'm going to give Storks is a C+. This film definitely had its moments, had great humor and great animation, but I felt like that because I was more interested in secondary characters and not necessarily the primary characters, that it sort of detracted from the overall story of the film. Also, I kind of got the sense that even though this film is only an hour and a half, it could have been shortened to a lot less than that, and maybe made a short before like the Lego movie or like the Lego Batman movie that's coming out next year. It would have been better as a short, even though the film is short, pretty much. It's only like 87 minutes. But I felt like it would have been much better in like a 5 to 10 minute window with like silent sort of style like Disney has done before in the past. I just felt like it would have been a lot more effective in that medium instead of being a feature-length film. So guys, that is my review for Storks. Let me know, what is your favorite non-Disney animated film in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, as well as hit that big subscribe button down below so you can see future videos like this one, or my Magnificent 7 review, which I'll leave up in the corner here. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.